And we're live. What's up, ladies, gents, boys, girls? A little bit of a mini review here on a show about shows. I would say trivia. That's the wrong show. I'm, of course, JPO, Jordan Pearson. Today, joined by the one, the only, Malcolm. Malcolm, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I've watched this movie twice already, and it's just came out. On...
Well, I get spoilers. I'm hoping you like it, or else you just are glutton for punishment. But yes, we are talking the new Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers movie that just dropped on Disney Plus. Is it Disney Plus for you as well? I just want to make sure.
yeah.
So I don't know about you. I personally went into this just because of the cast, and the director is Akiva Schaffer, who works with Andy a lot on Lonely Island, and of course Hot Rod and Never Stop, Never Stopping, and and so I didn't really necessarily go into it with any kind of love for Rescue Rangers themselves, but I like the plot. The plot basically here is the show ended kind of abruptly between the two. They haven't talked in years, and one of their friends gets kidnapped, and they got to go on a trail of finding them. And kind of like a Roger Rabbit, a bunch of cartoons, so many. If you thought Space Jam: A New Legacy had cameos, boy oh boy, you might even have noticed some stuff I didn't notice if you watch it twice, because this is a movie you could probably pause and comb through just for the cameos alone. And I had a lot of fun with it, actually. Steve Mesa says, "What's up? What's up, Steve Mesa of Mesa Media?" I had a lot of fun with this, actually, to a decent degree here. There's some good laughs, a couple of good, not necessarily super adult laughs, but laughs that I think we would get that obviously kids wouldn't. But there's enough cartoon madness and silly jokes to make you go along as well. The main cast here is Andy Samberg himself, as well as John Mulaney, one of my favorite stand-up comedians. And you got you got J.K. Simmons, Seth Rogen. There's a really funny Seth Rogen gag in this actually that I enjoyed. Yeah, I had fun with this. Well, what did you think of Chip and Dale, Malcolm? And did you come in with any Chip and Dale love to get from the beginning?
Yeah, just like you, I had no idea about the actual show. I'm aware of Chippendale Rescue Rangers, but I never watched it as a kid. But it's just but I came in because I mean, like at first when I first heard about this, I thought, oh yeah, it's just going to be a live action hybrid like Alvin and Chipmunks. They're going to be playing the characters from the show, and it's going to be this whole adventure sort of thing. But I was actually pleasantly surprised that that wasn't the case, because it was basically Who Framed Roger Rabbit, just for a new audience with a new bunch of people. Because like the
Not as
actors,
scary though. Roger Rabbit can get kind of creepy and scary.
oh yeah, but I mean, I think with this one, I think it worked to make a Roger Rabbit style movie for a new audience with characters that they're going to be aware of. So it's I mean myself, it's just weird, but yeah, it's just I had a lot of fun. Like this is just one of those ones that the cameos. I was worried when I saw the trailer that you were just playing then, because I think that was the most recent trailer. They showed a whole bunch of those cameos in that trailer alone.
uh,
So I was worried it was gonna be like Space Jam: New Legacy, where there's just gonna be cameos and a bunch of substance, and but the cameos were actually relevant to the plot. Specifically one cameo which I'm kind of surprised they did, but it was kind of a fun one as well. I mean, those that follow sites and that have is probably haven't had it spoiled for them already, but so but yeah, this is just one of those movies which I didn't expect to love as much as I did. I thought, oh yeah, I was gonna give this like 3 out of 5. It's gonna be a fine movie that's not necessarily made for me. It's gonna need to be familiar with the show and all that to get it, but you really don't. And like the cameos, are fun. Like they're not as distracting. And there's definitely a lot of moments in there which you're going to want to pause the movie, just trying to find everything you can find.
yeah, some of them
Um,
they go by very quickly. It'll be like, wait a minute, they just cut to another scene, and there was something in the corner I wanted to see.
oh yeah, because I mean, and I think one of those scenes is in the trailers. It's in the bootlegging facility where you see this whole wall of character parts.
Yeah.
You're going to see a lot of Easter eggs there for sure.
I mean, and everything. So many IPs too. I mean, obviously, I guess Disney has so many of them, but I mean, you're talking IPs from Nickelodeon to video games. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on here. Steve also really liked it. One of his favorite movies of the year. I think it's my number 5 or 6 spot currently on my list. Did you guys catch that one of the weapons shown for Sweet Pete's interrogation was DIP? What's
Yeah.
DIP? I'm sorry.
It's the dip from Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's so many that they're throwing at you here, and then after we give our scores, we might do a little bit more spoilery, kind of talk about some of them here, because there's one of my favorite cameos, almost a co-star of the movie. I want to talk about. So I mean, yeah. So what are kind of final thoughts, scores here? What do you give good old Chip and Dale?
Yeah, this is one that I thought it was a really fun movie. And it's just a lot of fun and just one of those ones I didn't expect. I gave it a 4 out of 5.
How many?
4 out of 5.
Okay, I'm a little bit below you. Some gags I don't think worked as well. There's a good fight scene towards the end though with J.K.'s character that I enjoyed, but I'd say 3.5, which is still definitely well over the recommendation part. Like I said, I think this is a good example of there's a little bit for us, there's a little bit for the kids. Like, you know, what I mean, I think this could be something fun to watch on multiple generations and levels.
Yeah, that's definitely.
And anything you want to talk about spoilery? Okay, so recommendation to wrap it up for anyone that hasn't seen it. 3.5, 4 out of 5. So both of us say check it out. It's on Disney Plus. It's a lot of fun. Good cast here. So if you haven't seen it, go watch it, then come back and watch this part. I don't know, whatever you want to do. But so yeah, so it's a little bit of spoilery talk here. I don't know if you were with me. I loved Ugly Sonic.
Yeah. Look, there's definitely a few cameos here which that I don't know how Disney managed to get away with it.
Yeah.
I can imagine them going up to like DreamWorks and Universal stuff like we can borrow some of your characters and just throw them in here. And I just
What was
love
the
the fact
most
that
surprising one to you?
the most surprising one is probably the fact that in one of the scenes you see Randy Marsh from South Park just hanging
Yeah,
out with a
yeah,
couple of
he's in the
things.
sauna, right? Yeah, he's in the sauna chilling. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's not like that's a kid-friendly character.
that's
And,
true too. Yeah, that
yeah,
is true too. That's what I said. Like, there is some like sneaky kind of stuff that's definitely not meant for a kid. I'm sure if a kid went through it with his parent, and was like, "Who's that?" Gonna be hard to explain. Steve liking it even a little bit more than us. 4.5 out of 5. Steve
it
truly,
was about
really
the same.
digging it.
It was actually the same as what I gave it.
You lied. No.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, there's so many. Like I say, you see Jimmy Neutron's hair. You see there's cars from Cars. There's a lot of record. There's a couple of different Wreck-It Ralph characters in there. His arm towards the end, but even some of the cops.
yeah.
Ooh.
Um, I mean, I think for me, one of my favorite ones is you probably referenced it earlier. Is the whole gag with Seth Rogen, where
Yeah,
you see like
I enjoyed that.
Mantis, Bob, and
his
Pumbaa.
little his little quick filmography of his voices, which is very funny when at least I kind of was like, oh yeah, that's right. Like he has like done a lot. Bob and Mantis and Puma. That's funny. You look weird. And actually, I enjoyed Rogan's character in general, even from the get go, with the whole
Yeah,
like I'm looking right at you. You know, the whole kind of stilted Warcraft CGI of like. No, I'm looking right at you. I enjoyed that from the get go.
yeah, and even just seeing like some of the mashups, like Monterey Jack was mashed up with Dumbo. Like, there's definitely a whole bunch of really mashups that if you're really looking,
Yeah,
because there's definitely a few, especially when you see them scanning Alvin, them flashing up of different animation styles. You see Alvin and Chipmunks, what they look like as Simpsons.
yeah. A
Even as
couple of Simpsons characters are in here.
Rick and Morty sneaks in.
Yeah, you see the Simpsons intro actually real quick as well with the bootleg Simpsons, and
Yeah.
yeah, there's so many. I'm sure somebody, if they haven't, very soon will do a YouTube video of every Easter egg broken down, 200 plus or whatever.
I mean, I mean, it's one of those ones. I think you could watch it multiple times and probably still miss some Easter eggs.
Yeah, no,
Um,
there's so many here, and I guess that goes to the power of not only Disney, but I would imagine too, like, you know, Sandberg getting the call into the South Park guys or something, you know what I mean, to get them, let them use the dad and whatnot. So I guess it was just goodwill of, you know, Sandberg, Mulaney, the Lonely Island crew, and then also Disney's just probably already having most of these IPs.
oh yeah, I mean, like definitely a good chunk of this was like Disney, Fox IPs for sure. I mean, like, but I think it's just one of those ones like they're probably allowed like, and some of them they probably got away with because it's, as I said, like with the whole bootlegging and some of them mashed up. As if you look in some of the posters for the mashups, like you see Felix the Cat, Pink Panther crossover character thing.
Yeah, of course, Batman fighting ET. Also, I don't know if you saw Paula, not Paula Band, Paula Abdul and what was it, Scat Cat?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that was a really like, especially in the 80s, that was a good way to bring them in because I think that's about the time when that song came out. Just like the whole Roger Rabbit one as well, was 80s was when Roger Rabbit was around, and because you don't see Roger Rabbit after that, which is which I kind of hope you got to see more of, to be honest. But
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I wouldn't hate more of this universe. Hopefully, this gets views and we can have a sequel and see more of the universe.
oh yeah, because I mean, like in the sequel, I think they'll bring in maybe Darkwing Duck, Tailspin, which
Yeah, and they tease Darkwing as in like, why not me?
I kind of wish they teased Tailspin too, because I mean, well, it was a slight Easter egg because the voice of the reboot Baloo wasn't actually Bill Murray. It was actually the guy who voiced Baloo in Tailspin, believe.
Okay, yeah, yeah. I mean, there was a lot
Um,
of recastings. Yeah, Peter Pan is Will Arnett. Yeah.
I mean, well, and it also played the Batman in that Batman versus ET thing.
Oh, that makes sense. He is Lego Batman.
Well, yeah. Um, and also, it's a very fitting fate for tunes that just don't pay their thing. They get bootleg, kidnapped, and stranded to a crazy
It's a fun like new concept too. You know that idea of because there is we were actually legitimately just making fun of that the other day. I was looking up a Chop Kick Panda trailer and whatnot, and all those bootlegs of, you know, something that's kind of Kung Fu Panda but not really, or a really bad, you know, Pauly Shore as Pinocchio. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah, the cast is awesome. Eric Bana as Monterey Jack. Yeah, shout out to Eric Bana. Not he definitely wouldn't know it was him.
I mean, I know if Stephen Shepard was here, he would have had mentioned this already, but the voice of Zipper of the small bug thing was Dennis Haysbert, the president from 24.
Yeah, that was a good because I think the joke too was that he never speaks in the show outside of, you know, voice noises.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
that was cool. That like when he found hello, you know, that great deep president and was it Allstate guy. Any parting words here on good old Chip and Dale?
Um, yeah, I don't think I've got any more to say on this, but other than that, like if you haven't, go see the movie. If you've seen it, go see it again.
Yeah, check it out. It is something I haven't seen it twice like Malcolm, but it's definitely something I could easily throw in sometime soon, if not, you know, even a couple months away. To rewatch, have fun, catch more Easter eggs. You know what I mean? Have and it's good for all ages, really, truly. So yeah, so big, pretty high recommendations. If you include Steve Mesa's, you got 4.5, 4, 3.5. So everyone here says recommended here. So
Yeah.
check it out, Disney Plus, Chip and Dale, Andy Samberg. Send me some money.
Yep, and it did the multiple cameos better than Space Jam 2: A New Legacy.
Yeah, it's definitely way more. I haven't Space Jam 2. We're gonna end on a sad note. Check out